Okay, so after a discussion I had with a dear friend of mine and fellow coach, I really wanted to talk to you today about success and, more importantly, failure. This wasn't the episode that I had planned this week, but I think it's needed, okay? So, success is very individual, right? What I class as success won't be success to you. And our paths to success are going to be different from one another. And sometimes we can get so wrapped up in striving for success, focusing on that end goal, and the thought that once we hit that goal, we will have succeeded. We forget about the journey. And for those of us that have set goals and thought, oh, well, when I hit this goal, I'll feel confident or like a quote unquote proper business, or insert whatever success feeling here. Are we ever satisfied? We most often criticize how long it took us, or we discredit ourselves in some way before focusing on the next goal and trying again. I know I'm guilty of that. Occasionally, I have days where I fail, I feel like I'm not cut out for it, I'm dissatisfied in some way, or, I just feel like I'm not moving forwards quick enough. And those thoughts creep in, like, am I really good enough? Was this a fluke? Am I cut out for it, right? And I have to stop and actually look at how far I've come. In 2019, you would not have caught me in front of a camera, let alone recording a podcast, going live on social media, or putting myself in a vulnerable situation by sharing my life publicly like this. And I have to remind myself how far I've come. I learned how to be confident in front of a camera and a microphone. I learned how to edit a podcast. I sought after coaching accreditation. I sign clients. I get results. I'm featured in newspapers and magazines. I help people become the goddesses and badasses that they are. And I am fucking good at what I do. And I have to remind myself of these things, and I have to remind myself that Rome wasn't built in a day. My success isn't going to happen overnight. And actually, in reality, I don't really want it to. Moving too fast, more often than not, sets you back, right? Because you don't have the infrastructure in place to cope. And that infrastructure is built through failure, through messing up and getting it wrong. And when you're focusing on the journey, not just the destination, not just that goal, it suddenly becomes easier, more fun, and less restrictive. When I stop focusing on that end goal and I focus on my journey and how far I've already come, I feel invigorated, right? I already feel fucking successful. Hitting the goal will just mean more success. And I want you to focus on your journey. I want you to give yourself some bloody credit. Whatever you're aiming for, turn your attention to what you've already done and how far you've already come. Made mistakes? Great! Failures are part of that road to success. When we fail, we get to analyse what didn't go so well, tweak, and go again. Failure is just falling down. And we can either choose to stay down, or we can pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and go again. Failing is building that infrastructure. Failure is the scenic route to success. Failing, tweaking, and going again makes us resilient. It makes us strong. It gives us the chance to be better than we were before. It gives us that ability to look at things from different angles. Failure isn't a bad thing. Next time you feel like you aren't going anywhere fast, focus on what you've already done and what you've achieved so far, and the obstacles that you've overcome, those failures that you've moved forwards from. I am so sure there's an analogy somewhere about being halfway up a mountain and wanting to give up, and you're tired and it's a mess, and you're just struggling. And it's so far to the top and you feel disheartened. But you can look at how far you've come, right? You can look, I've come halfway up this mountain. I've got this. All I need to do is focus on the next step, and then the next step, and the next step. And eventually I'll be at the top of the mountain, right? I'm sure there's a proper analogy, but I've just sort of winged that one. And that actually brings me to one of my favourite quotes about the next step. And it's, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. And that's Martin Luther King Jr. So even if you fall down at that first step, or the next step as it may be, get back up and go again. We don't have to see how we're going to reach success. We don't have to know every step to get there. All we need to do is take a step, and if we fail, if we fall down, we need to pick ourselves up and go again. When we get it all right, that leads to success. But failing, learning, and tweaking also leads to success, and resilience, and bravery, strength, courage, adaptability, and creativity. I know which journey I want to be on. Talking about journeys, I want to invite you to come on a journey with me, a journey of elevation, a journey of finding and unleashing your inner goddess. In March 2022, I am releasing Elevate, my self-paced digital course, and it's to help you become the person you are so capable of becoming. If today's episode has resonated with you at all, come and join the Elevate waitlist to be the first to hear when this course is available. It's transformational, it's impactful, and it's absolutely going to make you unstoppable. The link, as always, is in the show notes. And if you are enjoying this podcast, I would love for you to subscribe or follow so you never miss an episode. And if you feel called, please leave me a review. This helps others find me and begin to unleash their inner goddess.